Now here is our presentation topic, how to prepare exam in US. Here we start. Characteristic of US examination system. Before we draw deeper into some helpful steps that can be a great help for international students to deal with US examination system, let us have a brief introduction on the characteristic of it. Unlike other countries that use traditional percentage point system, US examination system use letter grade system and grade points average, which is known as GPA. This system is carried out a cumulative form by calculating the overall student's performance throughout all the courses taken. Let us see there are some criteria that will be counted as part of the grade. The criteria of students' performance in every test in the courses, participation in class discussion, completion of the homework assignment, and also independent or group project. You must be wondering that what are the differences that most of the international students encounter in facing US examination system? What are different difficulties for examination system before US and other countries? Now here's the difference. After comparing a few examination systems in Asia countries such as Japan and China, we found out a few differences in examination system between US and Asia countries, which are: first, grades of quizzes will not be included in final grades in most Asia countries. Second, unlike most Asia countries, America curriculum emphasizes the importance on group discussion and presentation. The scope of the examination system in US are more focused on application of knowledge, whereas most of the Asia countries emphasize the understanding of the knowledge. Hence, the examination questions that students will encounter in US will be a big difference compared to the questions that they deal with in their home country. And now here we got some challenge for international students for preparing for exam. First of all, we got the challenge on languages. Different languages is the first challenge for international students have to face. They have to clearly understand the questions and the opinions as well as the statements, especially for the specialized subjects such as chemistry and biology. Second is the procedure. Some countries use question cards and some countries directly write answer under the questions. And also different signature places and answer cards identify machines also have different requirements. And third, the time. Mostly around the world, examination take place on the morning, but in US, especially in college, the time could be very flexible, so it's also a great challenge to keep condition. So that may give us the idea of change the way you study. Well, you may notice some difference between high school and college. First, the college courses contain more specialized knowledge. That means you are more likely to get lost while you go through the lectures. Second, what you need is not only the textbook. A lot of reference and materials are also important. This made preparation for exam harder. Third, classes are longer, including more lectures and material. That means you have to digest a lot in one class, which proves to be a great challenge. Always keep in mind, college is not a place that you can learn for exam in a week. Well, what do we need? Why do we need to review after for some times? Well, think about it, what we usually do to review, which is preparation for exam. In some situation, which is alright, in most situations, we are spending most of our time looking over the textbook and notes, trying to recall the things that professor said a few weeks before. Well, this proved to be a pretty tiring task. So that reminds us, if you want to be more efficient while preparing for tests, you need a long-term reviewing plan. Actually, the memories you gain from the class are composed by several small parts, memorized at the way we call short-term memory, which behave as memory that got limited capacity and duration. Remember the famous Ebbinghaus curve? Let us show in the wave how we forgot. To avoid this from happening, we need a way to enhance those memories, which is in process turning the short-term memories to long-term one. So we are giving a specific way to do that, which is a week period starting plan. Now here is a specific way to review while learning something new. It's a pretty simple idea. We set up a week period for learning and reviewing. Use the weekdays for learning something new and use the weekends for reviewing and preparation for next week. Since we got 2 extra days for reviewing and doing exercise, it's easier for us to recall the knowledge we learned from class since a week is never a long period. After 4 weeks, set up another or 2 extra days for the summarize for the period weeks. And here is something you need to notice for the plan. First, always keep notes on classes. Note down important statements and conceptions in your notebook, as well as some instruction the professor gives you that you may need. Second, set up a reasonable plan. Do not set up a plan that just looked beautiful. Set up a plan that you actually be able to apply. For example, if you feel that you got too much homework to do, it's okay to just do less exercise. Third, set up a month period for reviewing and for the whole month. After a few turns of learning, you need extra days for summarize all you learned in the month. Go through your notes and on that day as well as redo some of the problems you did wrong. Now here's our main topic. Start preparing for the test. A week or 2 before the exam is the time that you really need to prepare for the test. This could be a lot of problems on you. How exactly should we do to overcome both academical and emotional challenge? Before we start the plan, make sure you are, first of all, concentrate. Put away your electronic devices and concentrate on your books. And second, be confident. Find a place that will fit you best, like library or your dorm or somewhere else, whatever you like. Find a place that best for you to be focused on your work, and let's get started. So how do we set up a reviewing plan? First of all, you might want to get earlier. The time of it depends on how much material it contains. If it's a reviewing for the whole semester, so you may want to start it a few weeks before the test. Second, be precise. Finding out what exactly you want to do and what exactly do you want to have on your reviewing plan. The more precisely your plan is, the more effective that will be. Third, make your plan flexible. People are having difficulty in reacting their revision plan. It's always true that they are always planned too tightly and don't allow any sufficient flexibility. Plans need to be a plenty of blank space to allow the unexpected. Remember, you are not that effective than you thought yourself would be. So, fourth, be realistic. It's sort of the same idea of make the plan flexible. Remember, don't accumulate a lot of work in one day. Be realistic. You cannot do that. Set up in few days. If you cannot do it today, push it tomorrow, but after that you always have to finish. Finally, give yourself a break. Allowing yourself sometimes every week for relaxation, recreation, socializing, and rest will help you feel less stressed and make it more likely that you will stick on your timetable. This is not wasting your time. It actually helps you work more efficiently. Now here are some ways to review. First, make flashcards. This is a good idea to make flashcards. After you are being taken notes on class, use the information on the flashcards, turn the statements into questions, and write the answer on the other side. 2. Practice problems. This is a good way to review for subjects such as math, physics. Practice doing homework you are assigned. Do more questions that are not required. Redo the question that you did wrong and always figure out why you are doing wrong. And quiz yourself. Quiz yourself every time a period. You can use the way like flashcards or redo the similar questions you did wrong to find out the parts you forgot. So what should you do? Share some tips. First, ask your teacher about test material. One of the easiest ways to begin your study process is to find out what is on the test directly from your teacher. Many teachers will provide some guidance on what will and what will not cover on the test. Knowing which material on the test will cover up will help you focus on the main material you need to study. Second, read your notes. Read through the entire of your notes that will be on exam. It will refresh your memories on the material and help you remember what you learned. But also makes you know or aware of information that you forgot. Decide if you think your notes are sufficient enough to study from. Did you miss any class? Are some of your notes missing? If so, you might need to borrow someone else. Third, do some practice. Sort of the same idea of doing some practice like for the mathematics and physics problems. But remember, you should always focus on your mistakes. Your mistakes accumulated mistakes a best experiment that you did wrong. Find out what you used to did wrong. Make sure you did not get into the same problems again. After you've done the reviewing plan, here is the day before. Pretty important day. Even it's more important than the day of exam. So here are the two main ideas before the day of exam. First, should I sleep more versus should I prepare more? Students agree with I should sleep more, thinks that enough sleep keep me in a good condition. Yes, sleep helps you to keep calm and keep good memories. Second, should I prepare more? I cannot fall asleep if I cannot feel myself well prepared. That's sort of the same thing happened on myself. I cannot fall asleep if I know tomorrow is a test and I did not prepare for it at all. So, it's supposed to make any sense, so choose the one that make you comfortable. So what should you do on the day before the exam? First of all, recheck your test center, test time, and your seat. Don't go to a wrong test center or you will definitely miss the test. Second, make sure you got everything enough you need for the test. For example, do we need a calculator for math exam? Do I need a book for reference for the other exam? Make sure you got everything prepared. Third, go through some statements and formula if that makes you feel good. Fourth, don't plan to do anything. So here is a common problem you may face. I cannot fall asleep before the exam. So here are some tips. First, never stay up too late. During the night, human's body temperature will drop for half to 1 Celsius degree. Intend to relax the body, slow down the metabolic process. If you stay up too late, your lower temperature body will makes you harder to fall asleep. Thus, the best time to go to bed is around 11 p.m. to 12 p.m. And do not stay up over 2 a.m. if you have to. Second, put away your electronic devices. That's easy to understanding. Phones prove to be an obstacle to fall asleep, so always put away your phones. Third, set up a relaxing surrounding. This is why we need quiet hours when we are living with your roommates. Turn down the music, drop down the curtains, turn up the lights, and make yourself comfortable. First, breathe deeply and slowly. When you cannot feel drowsiness while sleeping, try to breathe deep and slowly. Inhale a deep breath into your lung. Keep there for 2 seconds and exhale it slowly. Keep the process slow, and after that, you are falling asleep. So after that is our big day. On the day of the exam, remember you should always looking after yourself. Don't get up too early. Eat breakfast and don't drink too much liquid. Arrive at the exam hall comfortably on time, but do not too early. The tension hanging out is short period for waiting just before the exam is highly contagious, so you do well to minimize your exposure to it. And relax yourself after you step into the exam hall. So what do you do if you start to panic during the exam? It's a common reaction that people start to feel panic when they were stuck on questions they cannot solve, or even when they step into the testing center. So what to do to relieve your nerves? First, make yourself comfortable. Eat something before the test. Use the restroom. Adjust your clothing. Don't stand for too long. In word, make yourself comfortable. Second, take some time to read the instruction carefully. Do it at least twice. Make sure you are not missing anything. Third, do not rush anything. Take adequate time on the point. If you got no ideas on what to do first, choose those easy questions. First, manage your time. Keep your eyes on time so that you got enough time for your final answer. Make sure that at least you know how long should one question take at most. Fifth, ignore others. The fact that the person sitting next to you has finished his question for 20 minutes while you are not even done half of it can really be frustrating. Trying to ignore others is hard, but yet it works. So after the exam, what should you do? Leave the exam behind for a while. Do something enjoyable. If you are exhausted, some food and sleep may help. If you are still warmed up, you could do something physical, such as go for a run or swim. If you are going to meet up with someone, you could agree with them that you will only talk about the exam for 5 minutes, or even not at all. That's a good idea. I like that. So here's our summary. College is hard, so it's always wise to find an efficient way to study and prepare for the exam. You have to always keep in mind that you are not studying for the exam, but for yourself. Always be confident, concentrated, and persistent. Believe yourself that anything is possible. Here's our reference.